Good afternoon, YouTube. I just want to address the situation which has been going viral concerning the musician Genuwine and another celebrity by the name of India Willoughby. That's apparently her name. Yeah, and before I start, I just want to put this disclaimer. No, it's like I'm not transphobic in any way. Of course, I'm a transgender woman, so it's like I don't encourage like this craziness and pettiness. I encourage like critical thinking, and I know in the past I've been attacked by some of my fellow trans people, like even on Facebook. I've been like called, like screamed at, as well as blocked on Facebook by some people. But I really don't care at the end of the day. Like I just believe in like sincerity, honesty, and just keeping it real. So yeah, apparently Mr. Genuwine, the musician, has been accused of being transphobic towards his fellow Big Brother celebrity housemate. So one evening, it just happened very recently. Like during the evening, they were actually like all sitting. I actually watched the video. They were actually all sitting in like it looked like they were outside somewhere in the garden or something, and they were like just discussing dating and all that stuff. So then India then advances onto him and starts asking him all these questions like would you date a transgender woman and everything like that. And he Genuwine then responded that no, he'd not date a trans woman because he'd want to date somebody who was actually born female, like from the beginning. And yeah, and to be honest, like from my perspective, I don't see anything wrong with that, because it's like as a human we have like rights to say what we want, what we don't want. So yeah, like if you're interested in dating only men and or only women, or you're only attracted to one particular race, like it's your human right. It's like you can't be forcing choices onto people. And like for example, if like I'm a vegan, if I don't want to eat meat, it's like unfair somebody wants to force meat on me or something like that. So yeah, yeah, and like then she then advanced onto him despite knowing his stance and his views. She then advanced onto him, tried to grab him, trying to kiss him, and then he pushed off and he was like giggling at the same time. So then on the internet and like on Twitter particularly, people have been like actually attacking him, calling him a transphobe and being like hateful and all this stuff. And just in my opinion, I'm just like thinking harsh to myself. So we have like celebrities who are fully homosexual, such as we have like Elton John, and we have like Elton John and Ricky Martin, for example. So if like let's say for example, if a black woman decided to force herself onto either of those two gentlemen, like knowing how they feel and that sexuality, would then, if they then pushed her off, let's say, and said, hey, I only like men, I don't like women, can you please stop that? And should we then attack them and say, oh, you are like some sexist, racist, bigoted a-holes because you didn't like accept a black woman's advances? Like, what is wrong with you? You're such a bigot, you're a horrible person. It's like, would that be fair on them, like to force, as a, let's say, a black woman to force herself onto those men? And it's like, and then like, so it's like I don't see how now India is now like all of a sudden, like even on all these interviews I've been seeing, all these articles, and even herself, like playing a victim, when it's like you are not a victim in any way. It's not like he said anything. I didn't see any way he said anything derogatory, like call her a tranny or anything like that, or like advocate for harming of like people within the transgender community. He just simply said no, he just doesn't like that, he's not attracted to that. Just like you get people who only want to date within their own race or something. So it's like you can't then, and if anything, he should be the victim, because it's like she advanced onto him like not him not wanting her to do that. So it's like, if anything, we should actually be sheltering him as a victim, if anything. But people want to place the blame on him and like make him like some a way like he like was the one who like victimized her. It's like no. So it's like I'm just trying to think like how would it be if like the roles were reversed or something, like if he as a black guy had like forced himself onto her, like would we still be calling him a victim? So it's like this is just all madness to me. So it's like, you know, that's like, again, I go back to, I know sometimes some of my fellow trans people get mad at me because I just don't entertain the nonsense and everything. Just the same way last year when there was that situation with a musician, I think was it Bob, but I forgot I forgot who it was, but it was a Breakfast Club interview, and he was on another celebrity was interviewed, and he said he'd be mad if like a transgender woman was not open with him, like, and like he would maybe attack her or something or be mad with her, but he said in a joking way, like he'd be mad at her basically for betraying his trust and not being upfront about something like that. So as like, and that's very understandable. It's like, you know, just when you are trying to build a relationship, a close relationship with somebody, it's logical that the foundation should be honesty, transparency, and trust. So I saw nothing wrong with it, but apparently Twitter then attacked Charlemagne the God, who's like is one of the hosts on that show, like and called him a transphobe and everything for allowing that on his show. It's like so you can't really. It's like, and it wasn't him who said it. So I'm just like, so, and like in the past I've seen Charlemagne he just seems like a really nice guy to me, like in general. Like in the past he's actually defended, I even remember there was a time when he had like Michael Blackson on his show, and he actually defended Sydney Starr when Michael Blackson had made some derogatory comments which were a bit transphobic, and he actually defended Sydney Starr. So it's like I did not see Charlemagne as a transphobe either. I don't see him as a bad guy. So it's like I just don't understand. Like sometimes I just feel like, you know, some of these LGBT advocates, they take like spotlights away from things which could potentially really be harmful and really be transphobic, but you want to entertain the nonsense that simply somebody not wanting somebody to advance onto them is like being bigoted or being transphobic. It's his right. You can actually get diseases from even kisses. Like, you can't go around just kissing any random person. You can get diseases such as like, I don't know, like just anything. Obviously not HIV, but just other diseases. So it's like, I'm just like rolling my eyes at this whole thing. I'm just not even entertaining the nonsense about him being labeled as a transphobe. So yeah, I was just really annoyed. I'm just really annoyed by this whole scenario, all this that's been happening. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on everything. So please like, comment, subscribe, and share my video, and I'll see you all in the next one.